What's up, everyone? Roy True from over at Golden West Management. I'm here with Ayush today, and we have a pretty basic question, but an important one. What do you want to see and hear from your realtor when you're picking an agent to work with?
Yeah, super topical right now. Especially in this market right now where things are changing a little bit. The last couple of years, just fueled by super low rates, you just had to post your property and it was gone. And now the water is a little bit choppy, and it's a little bit more important for you to weed out who you're going to work with, who you're going to place this responsibility with to sell your property and get you the most that you can. So, for me personally, I think as a listing agent, my most important word for my clients is leverage. As a seller, you want to be in a position to create and benefit from leverage. What do I mean by that? I mean, you want to have a property that's going to attract the most people that you can. So when you're pricing the home, for example, you want to price it at a point where it's attractive and it's going to draw in a lot of attention. You don't want to price it where it's prohibitively too high and you're not getting people coming in because they're scared of they have sticker shock, right? We have a lot of agents who are pricing properties like it was back in 2021, and you get crickets then. You have nobody coming through your open house, you get no showings, and now you're losing leverage for your client because now they kind of have to scramble and accept whatever offer they get. The opposite is when you price it aggressively, you get a ton of traffic, now you have multiple offers, all of a sudden now you're the belle of the ball. Everyone wants to dance with you, and you can dictate the terms. It also bleeds now into marketing. How do you market this property? Are you telling a story? It starts from pictures, videos. It starts from your own pitch for your property. You need to understand what the key attractive features of this property are, and more importantly, who they're going to be attractive to. So you want to think from the perspective of the person that's buying this property. How do they want to be marketed to? Who is this person? Where are they that they're looking for this property, and what features of this property are important to them? So you got to keep that in mind as you list this property. So these are all things I cover with my clients during the first listing appointment. You want to think of the other agent, right? You want to think of the buyer's agent. What's important to them. You need to sometimes spell out what their client might be looking for in this property. So, my sort of mantra is that you wanna spoon feed every single person in this process, starting with the other agents, starting with folks that are coming in during your open houses. You want to take some time to hear what they're saying, and you want to use that information to almost match make, in between who's the person that's going to buy this property and the property itself. So, it really starts off with understanding this property and presenting it onto the market in the best way possible and attracting people to come in, as opposed to what you see a lot of times where you sort of just post it at a number that you are scared to negotiate with your seller. Your sellers aren't tuned into this market. You are. That's why you're the professional, and it's your responsibility and your job to guide your clients. So leverage for me is the most important word in this process. And as you're talking to agents out there, and when you're talking to me, you're going to see that I'm going to focus a lot on how we can create leverage for you as a seller and how we can maximize that leverage for you. So for me, that's the key word.
Beautiful leverage. And then Ayush, what I understand is you need an agent who understands who the buyers are in this
Absolutely.
market. And if you don't know who the buyers are, it's not going to go.
If you don't have an end in sight for the journey you're about to begin, you're going to be going down a lot of dead ends. And you're going to be wasting time, your client's time. You're going to be wasting money, your own money in marketing, your time in marketing. But more importantly, your client's going to be making mortgage payments that they may not necessarily have to at this time. If the house is sitting for 2 or 3 months, that's 2 or 3 months that they shouldn't really be paying the mortgage for because you've dropped the ball. So it's super important to understand everybody in this process and work backwards from what it is that they're looking for and try and figure out a strategy based on that.
Don't just go with any agent who has a flashy car, that has a flashy suit on, that tells you they can get you whatever number you throw at the wall. Go with somebody who understands the market, understands the buyer. Even like myself, I know what we were talking. I'm looking for a house right now, and you asked me the 3 best questions, like what, when, why, and listen to me. I think that most people, they're the days, like you said, of throwing something on the MLS and just sitting back and kicking your feet up until you get 50 offers. It's just,
those days are over.
It's done. And if you don't have the right person representing you, it's even harder to get in the door, especially something that a listing agent like yourself has a property listed for and doing it right. the buyer side of it, it's even more important who you pick with to do your buy. So obviously you represent both buyers and sellers. And when they're picking you, I'm sure that it's a little bit different for each side.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, with buyers, again, it's a very similar process. You know, again, you're trying to understand who they are, what they're all about, what their lifestyle is. You know, I even try and, you know, when you're looking at a house, you want to see little things like, what orientation is this house? Is it west facing, for example, which means it's going to be super hot in the afternoons. Maybe they don't like heat, right? Does it have a lot of outdoor spaces? Are they outdoor people? Do they like stairs? If this property has stairs and they hate stairs, you're wasting everyone's time seeing. So it's really important to understand who you're working with. It's very important to understand where they're coming from. You need to understand their story, and you need to lead with that. You know, it starts with you as opposed to me. You know, we're agents of change. We're the ones that facilitate these connections, but we're not the stars of this film. The stars are the sellers and the buyers, and we need to understand, you know, what their motivations are, what their goals are, and work from there.
Well, that was beautifully put. That should be on a slogan right there.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. Maybe I'll use this clip then.
Do it. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on. Next time, Market Movers, Ayush, we're here. Roy with Golden West. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Roy.